Fellow lost souls, wanderers, adventurers and heroes. Many of us have found ourselves trapped in Barovia, imprisoned by the mists. The devil Strahd has incarcerated us here, and the only way out is to kill him, or die in the attempt. So, welcome to Barovia. The land is cursed, and now, so are you.
Hello. Hi, friends. Welcome to our Curse of Strahd campaign stream, session 21, where we open a literal can of worms by going to an orphanage. Because someone in the orphanage, just has a can of worms, because that's what kids are like. I definitely ate a worm once when I was... Sorry, Mum, but I did. Anyway, hello. My name is Debbie. I use she, her pronouns. I am your Dungeon Master. I'm going to introduce you quickly to your players, and then I'm going to rattle through the housekeeping bits and pieces because we're very short and sweet session today because we have to stop soon because folks have lives to get to and things. So let me introduce you to players. Folks, name, pronouns, character, their pronouns. Please say hello to Galway.
I pressed the wrong button. Hello, everybody. I'm Galway, pronouns he or they, playing Jota the Elvish Artificer, pronouns they, them.
Wonderful. Thank you kindly. Let's say hello to Elise.
Hello, Elise. Pronouns she, her, hers. I play Mink, who is a paladin, Firebolt paladin, and his pronouns are he, him, his.
Wonderful. Say hello, please, to Adam.
Hi, yes, Adam here. Pronouns they or he, and I play Teddy, who is a satyr / dragonborn cleric / fighter, whose pronouns are he, him, his.
Wonderful. Okay. We're affiliate on Twitch, which means you can cheer and subscribe
I exist.
Oh, Lena!
Wow, Debbie!
Erasure.
Man, what a shit person. I'm so sorry. And then what I was going to do, she lied, is everything else and then come back to Lena as like the star. No, I'm so sorry, Lena. I don't know what happened there. My sincerest apologies. I'm fully in the wrong. Everybody, please say the biggest hello to Lena.
Hi,
You're
Lena.
good, Hi, Lena.
Hi, Lena.
Yeah, I'm Lena. My pronouns are she, her. I play Mari Mia Tinker, who is a tiefling rogue, whose pronouns are also she, her.
And also, please say hello to Book, who is being adorable. 10 out of 10, Book. Okay. I've done everybody now, I think. I'm so sorry. Do we want to do Lena twice just to make up for it?
No, I'm terrible at introducing myself. Don't make me do it twice.
Oh, that would be worse. Good. I'll put the shovel down. All right. Yes, affiliate on Twitch. You can cheer and subscribe. You can also link your Amazon Prime account to support us via Prime Gaming. Chat commands. The most important one is !Discord. Join us in the Discord. It's a wonderful community. And because spring has sprung in the UK, there will shortly be pictures of my garden appearing in there. So if you want to see garlic growing or courgettes, because these are the two things that I can really successfully grow, head over there. Right. Welcome into our Helpful Goat Curse of Strahd stream. This is intended to be a horror stream, which may not be suitable for everyone. Today we've got some general danger, some kids We're going to an orphanage, so they're in danger. No one's in like serious danger, but there's implied danger, so it might feel worse than it actually is. But if that's not good for you, that's okay. It's Barovia, so it's generally pretty crappy. Vampires, you know, it's not a nice place to be. If that doesn't sound good to you, you know, it's fine. If you're in the UK, it's sunny. Go outside. It's beautiful. Wear sunscreen. Final announcement. Music used in streams today and going forwards is from Tabletop Audio or Kevin MacLeod's Incompetech website, used under a Creative Commons license, which reminds me to press play on the music over here. Put it on loop. Right, that should loop. If it doesn't, I'll be reminded in some minutes' time when it stops looping.
10 minutes.
Right. Last time, we had a very interesting conversation with a guy called Rictavio. Does anyone remember any of the interesting things that we learned? Oh, Lena's face. I'm sorry to just put you on the spot and you're like, shut your face.
I take amazing notes, but I have to scroll to
I have
it.
a lot of notes. It's okay. You can keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
So he warns us about the level of shit we're in. That's what I have. Apparently,
Is that your
About it?
whole
Level of
notes,
shit.
Elise?
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
I mean,
Is that
that's
your
not
whole
inaccurate.
notes?
that's it. That's correct. That is what he did.
There's other stuff though.
That's not all my notes, Lena. There's
Okay.
like a page of notes about what Natalia told us. That's just the first thing, okay? He's a spy, not a Dolly Carnival man. He travels a lot. He's a planeswalker. He told us that Barovia is related to the Shadowfell. He warns us about Valakai, that the Burgomaster's festivals manage the population, that there's an alternate power lady Watcher, who's powerful and dangerous and in opposition to the Burgomaster, subtly if not openly. We ask about the Keepers of the Feathers, and we were like the Were-Raven people, and we're kind of given the hint that we were on the right track when we were talking to Danica about it. He has a pet monkey named Piccolo.
Most important information absorbed.
And
Yep.
we found out that Ludo, one of the inn's best patrons, has gone missing. He's usually fishing at the lake, but has not been seen for a couple days. That's what I have from our conversation with Rictavio. I have more notes, but that's it for Rictavio.
No, I think that's a very good summary. I think you've hit most of the main points. Kenneth also agrees. Sir.
He also told us that Barovia is like a demi-plane.
Related to the
Yeah.
Shadowfell. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, Kenneth did.
It's so cute. I love his little bark.
I think that's I think otherwise that's everything
It's
irrelevant.
especially Kenneth.
Baby. Oh.
He's happy now.
Yeah, that's about all he told you. He did also mention that he's a bit unclear about his future plans. He's been in Valakai about a month. He's probably not going to stick around too much longer. He wants to test the limits of Barovia because so far it's been a one-way ticket in. You can't get out, and he wants to. And he's thinking about going to the Wizards of Wines. So if you guys end up heading that way, he will gladly travel with you. He also told you it was bedtime, but not in a sexy way. Just so you know, I had that in my notes. I thought that was
Not
important to
Barovian
highlight. Not Barovian flirting, no. You did have breakfast the next morning. Still no steak and egg pie, but at least Teddy hasn't yet forgotten about the existence of either steak or eggs. We went to a nice church where we were planning to leave Irina to be safe from Strahd, but we immediately realised that something wasn't right when we Mink noticed that the church was no longer consecrated, but it at some point had been. And Father Lucian, what's the word when someone's in charge of the church? The dude of the church? The king of the
Yes.
church? I don't know.
It's
religion.
Yeah, I think so. King of the church, yeah.
The dude of the king of the church explained that the bones of St. Andrew had been the item that had protected and consecrated the church, and they had been recently stolen, but he's trying to keep it a secret because he doesn't want widespread panic. His trainee priest, Jeska, was informed about the bones, and coincidentally, they went missing shortly thereafter. Teddy spoke to Jeska, and we learned that Milivoj has been told of the location of the bones, and so we're off to the orphanage to meet Milivoj and try and find these darn bones.
Milivoj is like 15, 16 kind of age, or is he
older? A little bit older, like late teens, 18, 19.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. To the orphanage. I'm going to have to put Kenneth down to DM with 2 hands. Mike, if you want to come and get Kenneth, that would be fine.
I do.
It's an hour and 8 minutes, so it's not his fault. Yeah, go on.
Just as like a note too, like I think for the recap, there was the conversation, kind of reprised of like Marty wants us to leave Valakai. We don't want to leave Valakai, and then things got a little tense between Marty, Mink, and Diota, especially because like there was like tell us why, and Marty's like, well, we should just leave, and so that kind of thing, and Teddy kind of making the point of like, that's not going to go anywhere. Like we are beating our head at like collectively as a group. Hi, Mike. Like not making any progress on that type of conversation, and so Teddy's kind of point that like Marty will either eventually tell us what she knows or she won't, and that's where we have to kind of leave things. Did I do that justice? I just want to make sure that gets said because I think it's going to flavor some of the immediate decisions we might make role-playing wise.
Fair enough.
Yes, I think that was a good summary.
Okay, thank you, Elise. All right.
So have we reconvened and gotten all this information from Teddy? Because wasn't it Teddy who was talking to Jeska, right? But we've managed to kind of all come together now and make the collective decision like we're going to go talk to Milivoj.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I thought you all came back together and wanted.
Debbie?
I'm here.
I think we were, in my mind, we were like walking and talking on our way to the orphanage at the end of the last session.
Okay. Yeah. That feels fine. Okay.
So the orphanage is, you are at the church, which is like the far, I don't know, I assume that you're on this map. Yeah, you are.
Yes.
You're at the far left of Valakai, the town, and the orphanage is just a little bit further. Oh my gosh, what's the word? Back in, so back towards the main bit of town. The orphanage is like here.
Okay.
Is where I was looking at my notes, not the map.
No, you're fine. Here-ish. I assume that you can see that. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, a quarter of the distance back towards town from where you were at the church. So it's not going to take you long to get there. So you absolutely can walk and talk, but you're not going to have a lot of time to talk whilst you walk. You're going to end up there probably in like 5 minutes or so.
Cool. I think Mari was just like speeding ahead of everybody. Debbie, you keep freezing occasionally. Anyways, I think Mari was just like speeding ahead of everybody. So I think y'all are like kind of grouped up, and Mari's just like, fine, we'll go to the orphanage. And it's kind of speed walking there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we have a plan for?
Is there anything that you want to discuss?
Yeah, with Milivoj, like, is there any approach here? Like, do we have a sense of whether this kid is hostile, dangerous, just a kid? I mean, he's 18, 19, like he could be like, what is he? Does he live at the orphanage? Do you know, Teddy? Or is he like a caretaker? Because that's like adult age.
He does live at the orphanage, according to Yeska.
Okay.
And is he the groundskeeper? Was that it
The church.
for the church?
Yes. So I don't think you necessarily know what he does at the orphanage or what he does at the church, but he was there that morning cutting the ivy, and has then gone back to the orphanage.
Okay.
I thought the priest said something like he was sort of like a handyman in terms of like he sort of did odd jobs around the church, etc.
Digs graves, cuts down ivy. Yes.
Okay.
Should three of us pretend to be parents looking to adopt him?
I feel that this is getting cruel.
No.
Potentially.
I think we should just talk to him like an adult and ask him what's going on, because he's old enough to talk to us. But maybe I think my approach keeps failing. Like people, I'm like a hammer, like it just one force and one purpose, and it's smash. And so maybe someone who
Well,
feels like they would know how to talk to an 18-year-old.
I mean, I don't feel particularly prepared to improvise it, but Teddy, it makes sense. I mean, Teddy was the one who's talking to Yeska, so Teddy
Yeah.
would be willing to, and probably should just be one of us at first, rather than all four of us like circling the kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that
That being
Giota,
said-
Gruboa, and Lamdea all have their fingers on their nose.
Nice.
Right. Like not it.
That being said, Mari is, I guess, forging ahead in front of us. So I don't know if is
I thought she was
Mari's.
catching up to us.
No, she like sped walked off like ahead of all of you. She just like
she's off.
stormed off towards the
Gotcha.
orphanage.
Gotcha.
So would her current mood make her like be like, fine, I will talk to this boy if y'all of you insist on doing
Probably.
this.
But she also doesn't know what he looks like or who she's really looking for. So if we don't want
Well.
Mari poisoning that well, she probably would take a sec to figure that out while y'all catch up.
Well, I
Do
guess
you want
go
Mari
first,
poisoning that well so you don't have to party face Adam? Is that what you're asking for?
I mean, look, I go where the role play leads us.
Yeah, I think
forging
like
ahead.
as I think Mink is a little bit invested in not letting Mari like be the one who first approaches Milavage, and so he's gonna like kind of jog to catch up to Mari and like catch up to her and kind of like, hey, sorry, I just like walked out while we were talking just now, but maybe we let Teddy take the lead on talking to this kid, and you and I can kind of watch the peripheries and see if he makes a bolt for it, because I don't trust this kid, but I want to give him a chance. You know what I mean?
No, not really, but fine. I mean, I think I could probably get him to tell us what he did with the bones a lot quicker than Teddy could. I am very persuasive, but okay, Mink.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's let Teddy. This is why, actually, Marty. Like, you feel that energy you're putting at me. I don't want you throwing it at Milavage. Like,
Mink, I'm just trying to get this figured out so we can leave. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what energy. I'm acting normal.
So while Mink is keeping Mari distracted, Teddy will stroll past them and head to the. Go into the orphanage and find. Is there like a receptionist?
Let me describe it for you.
Concierge.
A concierge, yeah. So you see a large house with a narrow driveway off the main road, and there is a swinging side by the kind of street that you're on that reads St. Andrew's Orphanage. So I assume you proceed up the little driveway. There are a few green shrubs by the door that look well kept, but the foliage is sparse, as if it struggles to grow in this vampire hellscape. The front door windows in brickwork, showing signs of wear and tear, but nevertheless clean. You don't see a concierge or a doorman to greet you, but there is a great big brass knocker that you could use to summon somebody if you wished to do so.
Teddy will knock the knocker.
I do. Mink
Wonderful.
is actually gonna like go scout around for other exits because he thinks that Milavage will make a break for it.
Seeing that, I'll probably I'm hanging back a bit to have sort of a view on things, but I'll send Lamdea and Groboa with you, and you can sort of indicate to them to stop and watch an area.
Okay.
I guess I'll back
so-
Teddy up then in the conversation since scouting is covered. And I am very
so we'll do-
charismatic.
Mink and scouting first, and then I'll come back to Teddy when the door is answered. So it's a 2 or 3 story brick building, depending on how you want to count the stories, I guess. Like ground floor, another floor above it, and an attic in the roof. Okay.
Not again.
This is going to happen every time you guys go towards a building.
Barovia is gonna
need
have
be
to
clear.
adopt a single story.
Everything needs to be
Like
a rancher
building
bungalow
ordinance,
style
yeah.
layout.
No matter how big the outside facade of the house is, everything inside is it's
Castle
just
Ravenloft,
cavernous.
in fact, just one floor.
One floor.
One floor. Oh my god. Yes.
Chandelier hangs like 80 feet above your head.
Wonderful. Yeah, so you go, let's say you go round to the right, there's like little shrubs, a tree over there, it's like nice green space, and then the next house over, there's windows obviously on the side of the brickwork, and it all looks like roughly the same. You get round the back, and there's like a fenced off garden with a well and some beehives and like a little pond, and it's nice. It's fenced off. There's a back gate, and you see that there is a back door. So based on what you said, Mink, do you want to position yourself in view of the back door, maybe by the back gate in case anyone bolts?
Yep. And I'll just have Groboa and Lamdea kind of on the sides of the house that we don't have eyes on, watching windows in case someone goes out a window.
Okay, fine. So you've got all of the sides of the house covered. And then a few moments after Teddy knocked the knocker, the door swings open and you see a neat-looking woman in probably about her 50s. Her hair is dark but has a little grey in it, and it's in a tight bun. She's dressed with a white apron over the top, and she looks like the sort of person that would say spotless very often in her day. A good day. How may I help you?
Good morning. I'm here on behalf of the priest.
Father Lucian?
Yes, Father Lucian. Father Lucian sent me to speak with, I believe, a boy who lives here who does some work around.
Milavage.
Right. Yes, Milavage. Is he home?
He is, but I don't think he's necessarily in a state where he can speak to you. Why don't you come in and we'll have a seat in my office and let's talk this through.
Oh, sure. Yes, we can come in, or I'll look back to Mari. Maybe Mari should stay outside. I don't know.
I mean, you're welcome to come in. I don't. You know,
come in.
it's not
I'm fine.
luxurious.
Yeah.
I'm just
Let's
wondering,
go.
do we need to keep somebody on the front door?
Fields is still out there.
Diota's staying out there. Okay.
Diota's like out in the street still, sort of watching.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we'd love to talk it through. He's, and as we're walking in, is Milavage okay?
That is a great question. So you walk into a kind of dimly lit hallway, and she immediately guides you into a door directly to your right. As her office, and you can tell that it's her office because it says on the door, it's that little plaque that says Head Mistress Claudia Belasco. And she unlocks it and goes inside and invites you in, and there's like a little desk and 2 chairs that you can sit at if you wish to. Right, okay. Is Milivoj okay? No, is the short answer. He is sick. So technically, he is no longer under my care here at the orphanage. He has aged out, but he has stayed here because despite his jaded and sullen and teenage demeanor, he's a nice young man. Take her in an assistant, and he does work here, and he does work around town, including at the church. And he lives here and gives some part of his earnings to us to help support the house. But he is ill at the moment. He has had a cough for a couple of months, and then it worsened, and he's lost weight, and he's less and less able to. Because everything's tuberculosis.
You're describing it. Does he have night sweats?
Elise. Elise, what's the name of the book you're reading? Everything is tuberculosis?
No,
Yeah.
it's The Fault in Our Lungs by John Green.
Yes, he's less and less able to make it to work. And, for example, this morning he went to cut ivy back at the church, and after an hour he's had to come back and he's gone to his room to rest. So I can take you to him, but at the moment he's exhausted, and I don't think you're going to be able to get anything useful out of him.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that he's been sick. Headmistress Claudia, is it?
Yes.
Claudia, how long has Milivoj been feeling this way?
A few months. It's one of those things that you don't notice it until you notice it. Like a young man gets a cough and you think, oh, there's probably a bug going round, or, it's wet, and sometimes people just get a cough and then it doesn't go away, and then he slowly starts to get worse and worse. So I couldn't tell you the exact date when he started coughing, but it has certainly been at least a few months.
Can you show us to him, and maybe I'll ask another question or two while we walk.
Yes, absolutely. So she will take you. Oh, I've got a map, I think. Hang on. I'm doing a poor job multitasking. I have to put your character sheets on the map in order for you to see it, right? Teddy. I need to put Deota on there because Galway's the eyes. And Mari. And we've got Mink out the back. Graboa. I don't think I have Lamdea. Maybe I do down the bottom. Yes, there's Lamdea. Wonderful. And then I need to do that. Okay. Do you see the new map that you should be on? Yes. Okay, so this was the office where you were. So she takes you down this corridor, across this area, which looks like a main living area. It's got this kind of old couch, some toy chests, some dining tables and chairs. There's a doll's house down here that's got 3 young girls crowded around it. there's some other kids sort of playing around here, and she walks through the room over here, to this door, knocks on it. There isn't an answer, so she goes inside, and you see there's a figure in the bed that looks like he's asleep. Wait, there is a figure in the bed. Leia. Bam.
He's giant.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think the map's just real small, but look, here we are.
Why is his room dirtier than the other rooms, Debbie?
I don't know what to tell you.
He's been sick for 3 months. He's got plastic bags full of tissues sitting around, empty Gatorade bottles in there.
Yeah, well, the floors are covered with dirt, and an old shovel lies on the ground at the foot of the bed, like, because he sometimes digs holes and stuff, and he's got like the snippers from snipping the ivy as well. So he's obviously like just come back from work and just thrown himself directly into the bed. He is sleeping fitfully. He's covered in sweat, and his pallor is yellow tinged and quite pale. He does not look well.
What other symptoms has he been displaying aside from the cough and the yellow pallor?
Exhaustion, night terrors, fever, a general malaise. He probably has a misbalance of the humours.
Too much yellow bile.
Exactly. This one knows. Oh, you're not even there.
Can I just do a cursory examination of him? Is that okay? I have some healing experience.
By all means, I yes, if you think you can help. And Adam, I think you can medicine efficate.
I can assist with that to give you advantage with my knowledge of Barovian illnesses, is how I'm explaining this.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I see that.
Advantage. That's a crit hit.
Oh, and natural 20.
You get a good boy card. Don't forget to draw one.
Yes, don't forget your okay. It seems to you that his ailment is not like biological, in that like he's not got an infection or some kind of bug or something, but it seems that his condition is magical and not contagious, so you don't think like you're going to catch anything from him. There's something here that seems to be draining his energy, is what that natural 20 will give you. And that's why his illness seems to be progressing.
God, it's magical.
I have a good boy
tuberculosis.
card. I have a good boy card that I have to find my good boy card. Hold on. I just read them.
You're good.
I can basically cast the detect magic spell for free with it. So I'm going to use that. Well, wait, I guess I don't know this because this is Adam knowing, Teddy knowing this. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, before
also,
that, Gaway, I think, was going to say something.
Yeah, what did you say?
Oh, no,
Gaway?
I was just saying, oh god, it's magical tuberculosis.
Yes, it is magical tuberculosis. Absolutely. Sorry, Adam.
If I drew a good boy card that is identical to the last good boy card I drew. Can I redraw it? Am I able to have two of the same good boy card?
Yes, we talked about this last
Yes,
time.
you can.
And the answer was
Debbie told me I had to
Debbie
keep the
said
duplicate
tough
even though
luck.
I don't want it. Yeah.
Okay.
Tough luck. Yeah.
Spend
It's a
them.
limited deck, so
Okay. Well, I don't want to have two of these, so I'm just going to use it right away, whether or not it's useful. It's Vatic Gaze. You can sense magical auras similar to the Detect Magic spell for 10 minutes.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Maintain concentration to retain the effect. So Teddy will try to sense if if there's a magical aura coming from this boy, what the nature of this
Okay,
is.
It would also like if there's anything in the room.
wonderful.
Yeah,
so you will
in
get
the room. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you something for free, but I would also like to ask you to roll an Arcana check with advantage because you'll get something for free, but if you roll well, you'll also get a bit more information. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds great.
17. All right. Okay. So, you see using this magical gaze, traces of necromancy magic as if from a bestow curse spell, and you realize that something looks like it's trying to devour like Milivoj's soul, and you know, based on your kind of healing experience, that your healing spells won't work. So you've got to find out what is doing the draining on Milivoj and deal with that.
Okay.
And because you rolled well on the Arcana, you can see like wispy traces of like dark, smoky tendrils trailing from Milivoj and out back towards Claudia Belasco's office. So it's like a trail.
Okay.
Man.
Teddy would like to do an insight check on Claudia
Yeah.
because that seems suspicious. He'd like to get a read on what her situation is right now. 23.
Hell yeah, Teddy.
Penny's smashing it with these rolls. Okay, she is a concerned adult running an orphanage. She is kind of tight-lipped and a bit stick up her arsey, like she's very tightly strung, but she does not. The tendrils don't go directly to her. Like, she is not draining this young man. She doesn't seem to be hiding anything from you, or be directly responsible for the thing. The vibes are good, if somewhat stuffy.
I love the idea that Teddy's insight radar is like that attuned. Good, albeit stuffy.
Good roll at 23, I reckon.
Yeah.
He'll kind of pull Mari aside and mutter, I guess, an update to her on what he knows.
If he kind of signals that he wants to talk, I can trigger on my like telepathy thing so we can talk telepathically. Have I used that today? I have, so it's not free anymore, but I can still do that.
Not so free, just cost a tooth.
No, that's a different thing. This just cost a psionic energy die. I'm not going to pop a tooth out when Teddy's looking at me.
Yeah, if you want to use it. I don't know. Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, I don't have to. I just don't know if you can update me in whispers without Claudia being like, what the fuck?
Well, I think Teddy would like make it's very natural. Like we've been sent here by the priest to check on Milovaj. You're some kind of colleague of mine. We're here to check on him. So I don't think it is
Okay.
conspicuous that I would like mutter to you like, yeah,
Cool.
I'm picking up this and that and then but he'll go right into talking to Claudia. And he'll ask, yes, this is quite concerning. Tell me, has the orphanage, how to ask this? Did anything change here in the orphanage around the time that Milwaukee got sick? Any new
Well,
furniture? Any new items or donations from anybody in the town?
and leave Milovaj in peace, unless there's something more that you want to dean from him sleeping.
Yes, we can let him sleep, but maybe let's gather a bunch of these Gatorade bottles and used tissue bags. Get these out of here. It's not contagious.
Wonderful. So after a moment spent tidying up Milovaj's teenage mess, you can return.
Oh no!
I'm avoiding the obvious terrible jokes here.
Jesus
Really
Christ.
aggressive.
You avoided the obvious joke by saying
You worked,
teenage
Debbie.
mess.
You can return back to Claudia's office. Is the thing that you've got, Adam, is it like an instantaneous once only eyeball for magic, or is it
No, the Vatican gaze is
contiguous?
for 10 minutes as long as I'm concentrating.
How long do you want to spend tidying up Milovaj's room?
I'm not okay. He will grab one Gatorade bottle, wonder what
Recycle it on the way
Gatorade
out.
is, and recycle it on the way out.
Wondering what
but you-
recycling is.
Ironically,
yeah, so
though, the Gatorade is steak and egg flavored.
Ew.
Bacon,
Oh, that's
egg,
awful.
Gatorade.
Bacon egg flavored Gatorade. That's horrendous. Wonderful. Yes. Okay.
Imagine.
But yeah,
So
so
she's
Teddy
going to
would
take you back to her office.
stay attuned to the wisps of dark, smoky, arcanic energy or whatever.
Yeah.
And be kind of, but he'll ask as they walk, like, yeah, what did anything change? Did anything new?
Come back to my office. I don't want to discuss it around the children. So she kind of shepherds you back in, and she's like, something is not right. There's been a lot of, like, a string of bad luck here. My priority here is the health and safety of the children. I've been here for years, and the recent events have taken a turn for the worse. So recently a boy, a sweet boy, Cedric, was found dead after what looked like an accident. This was, I don't know, 6 weeks ago. It looked like he fell out of a window upstairs. And now, as someone that's run an orphanage for as long as I have, children play and they get injured, and sometimes terrible accidents like this happen. But
Now, Debbie, before she gets too far in this, Teddy is 80% interested in identifying where he's listening to her, but
the
this
wisps
is
go.
Yeah, where the wisps go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, interestingly, so you can be looking at the wisps as she's talking, and the two things are going to join up because you see the wisps go into like there's something in there, and as she's talking,
Can you
she's
repeat?
like, I don't believe it was an
Because
accident.
you got kind of your connection got jittered. You see them go where? I saw them go where?
Into the top drawer of her office desk.
Dad.
And she continues to speak, and she says, I don't believe poor Cedric was an accident, because I found some runes carved into his bed, and I found this on his body. And as she says this, she opens the drawer, and it's all just black swirly tendrils as she lifts out a locket, and that is what is attached to Milavoj and draining him.
Okay. I see. Yes. Okay. Great. Can I maybe take care of that for you?
You can, if it would help you to look at it, she will pass it to you. Do you want to know what I know about it?
No, I'm good. No, I'm kidding. Yes, if you have additional knowledge about this, and also Teddy would look to Mari and maybe like jerk his head a bit out toward Milovaj's room. Like, this is all like everything's kind of thickening here. Like maybe we should have somebody keeping an eye on the boys' room. If you don't think Mari would get that from a motion of the head, Lena, feel free to use your telepathy bullshit.
Okay, I'm gonna use my telepathy bullshit because I don't think Mari would get that from one jerk of the head.
Maybe keep an eye on the sick boy, his room. Make sure that, I don't know, he doesn't leave in some kind of weird cursed way.
Sure, yeah. I can keep him trapped in there.
Oh,
I'll go monitor. Did he have a window in his room? Debbie?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna actually go then inside the room to make sure he doesn't leave. Keep him trapped.
That is where the window is, on the far side of the room.
Cool. Trying to place myself between like the window and the door, so I guess kind of at the foot of his bed.
Yep. Standing on the shovel.
I can't see anything because he's giant, so yes, standing on the shovel, I guess.
so Claudia's holding the locket directly, like she's touching it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What do you know about this locket? Where did it come from?
Well, not too much, honestly. It used to be, as far as I know, in the possession of a boy called Felix. I don't know how it ended up with Cedric. Felix has been here only the past few months, since he very sadly lost his parents. And I know that he used to have the locket, and then Cedric had the locket. Well, at least Cedric had the locket when he died.
Okay. What do you know about Felix's parents? And is Felix still here?
Yes, Felix is still here. Felix's parents are not related to this adventure. And let me tell you why I did that. So I saw a thing this week on Instagram or Tumblr or something of like, there's a man in a DM is describing a scene like there's a man in the corner wearing a deep hood and a crown of thorns, and like everything around him is on fire, and he's got this really interesting aura, and the party are like, oh yeah, okay, cool, he's in the tavern, sweet, who else is there? Oh, there's a gnome called Scribbledy Bibblesworth. I would like to speak to Scribbledy Bibblesworth. So all that I'm saying here, Adam, is I really don't want you to go down that blind alley.
Enough said.
No
Enough
Scribbledy
said.
Bibblesworths here.
Teddy nods and says, fair enough. Very economically put, Headmistress Claudia. I appreciate your candor.
What about Felix?
Yeah, but so Felix is still here. Maybe right. Let me. Yes, I think I will take that. And Teddy would try to So he knows that there's some kind of necromantic magic, seemingly a bestow curse spell coming from this
Not
locket.
not necessarily exactly the bestow curse spell, but
something
that
like
kind
it.
of effect where Milovoj is cursed and his energy is being drained by the locket.
Okay. I wonder. I mean, Teddy would, I guess, try to maybe do a focused kind of Arcana check on the locket to see if he can discern any more about it.
You can.
Not sure what else there is to discern. But let's
Also,
see.
with
You
my
can
telepathy
roll.
bullshit, can talk to me if you need to while you're there.
Boy's still trapped.
Yep. He's just sleeping. It's pretty boring so far.
Yeah, not a good Arcana check.
A 9. I nearly said Eldritch Sight, but it's not Eldritch Sight. Your whatever it is,
Vatic
sight.
gaze.
Vatic gaze, wonderful. Allows you to physically see the energy that's coming out of Milovoj and going into the locket. Anything further than that, and you don't know anything further than like what it could be or how it could be acting or how you break that connection. You just know that there is, and it's necromantic and it's not good for Milovoj.
Okay. Great. And so now Teddy has the locket, right?
Correct.
Thank you for the information, Headmistress Claudia. It does appear that this is causing whatever's happening.
Oh, goodness.
To Milovoj. So this is
it
exactly
going to start happening to me or any of the children?
Well, no, I don't think it's contagious in any way. I think it's rather focused on Milovoj, and so
Oh dear.
You're safe.
I mean, that's good news and bad news simultaneously.
Sure. Yeah. Often that happens in a world like Barovia.
Well, mostly it's bad news and bad news, but yes.
That's true. This is why Father Lucian sent us. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to...
Oh, yes, you and the other person, yes.
Yes, as well as I've got a couple of our colleagues outside. If you don't mind, I might I'm going to and Teddy stands up and just, backs out of the room. But you're welcome. I'm not avoiding you. You can come with. This doesn't have to be a thing. I'm going to go get my colleague. You want to come with, Claudia, Headmistress Claudia? This is not a thing. I'm not doing a thing. I'm just trying to...
You're not flirting with me?
I'm not... No, I'm just trying to move the scene forward.
Okay. Well, look, how about this? I would prefer that you didn't move around the orphanage unaccompanied because there are children here and they are my responsibility and I don't know you, frankly.
Sure. I'm going to go outside first. I'm going to go outside. If you could come with, would you be able to find Felix? I'm going to go get one of my colleagues, friends, and come back in. And if we could chat with Felix, that would be great.
Okay. You go outside. I'll go and ask the other children where Felix might be. How's that? And then we'll reconvene here-ish in a min. Yeah,
sounds like a plan, Claudia. High five. Okay, cool.
She follows. If you go out and out, she goes out and in, as in out of her office and into the living area. Continue.
Cool. Teddy will go and find Diota.
I'm pretty much just sitting a little bit back from the front door.
Hey, so magic shit going on in here. Something like a curse. This locket seems kind of fucked. Definitely draining energy from the kid. Apparently, this locket started with a boy named Felix, made its way to a kid named Cedric, who's dead now. Fell out of a window, probably not an accident. And then it was found on Cedric's body. And now, yeah. Anyway, I've hit my limit in terms of arcanic ability here, Diota, and I'm wondering if maybe you could come in and help out.
Will Teddy hand me the locket? Or like Teddy
Oh, yeah,
handed me the locket as you were doing that?
For sure. Yeah, all yours.
So while you're explaining that for 1 minute, I'm going to cast Identify.
Good.
Identify one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. I just did. You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. Thanks, Wizards of the Coast. Glad you could repeat that a second time. If it is a magic item or some other magic-imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Right. Well played, Galway, as always.
I'm an artificer. Literally
I know.
the main thing I'm good at. Magical doohickey.
Okay, so this magical doohickey is a demonic locket. And over the time that you are exploring, investigating, identifying, you realize that there is a demon magically connected to this locket, like a genie to a lamp.
Whoa.
Not cool, really bad. Whilst
$10 on Lady Wachter.
inside the locket and the locket is closed, the demon is unconscious. And in order to free itself from the locket, the demon must trade its place in the locket with a pure and compassionate soul in a ritual process that takes approximately 3 to 4 months. The demon can do this by influencing those around it.
So, while the demon is inside and the locket is closed, the demon is unconscious and thus,
Yes.
can't act, etc.
Yes, but if the locket is open, the demon, you think, has the ability to maybe possess a creature
And
or
is the locket
influence
open or
creatures.
closed?
Currently, it's closed.
But it will open when it's been 3 to 4 months, and we're coming right up on that.
No, it will like
at
It will
that
fully
point, the ritual.
instantiate.
It's
At that
working
point,
on
the ritual will be complete.
it's working
Okay,
on
so-
sucking
so-
Milovage into the locket so that it can be outside the locket. It is
So
going
it
to
can
swap
open.
pieces.
It can open before the swapsies happens and impact things, and then once the swapsies happen, then Milovich is trapped in there, and the
it is
demon is
fully
out.
wandering around.
Okay.
You, Diota, know the demon cannot open the locket, but the locket can be opened.
So probably Cedric got it, his hands on it, went, "What's this?" Opened it, and then the demon possessed him to jump out the window, right? Like that I mean, that's conjecture, but like I think you can just open the locket. It would just most likely lead to bad things for you. Like
I'm not saying that didn't happen, but I am gonna say that's like really like short-sighted by the demon, because like why would you like jump the little pure soul out the window who could have like let you go free? Like that's
Already, like,
dumb.
2.5
That's probably what
months
happened.
after
But
Milovage's life, so
Well, but it seems like he's already the demon has already attached to Milovage and has been doing this for months. So it got opened months ago.
Mm-hmm.
In order to allow, because the demon has, I would assume that Diota would also assume the locket has to have been opened for the demon to start this ritual, but apparently
yeah, I
doesn't
was just making a joke about the demon being dumb.
have to
Yeah.
maintain it being open clearly to continue the ritual going.
Correct.
But
Yes.
so Diota is saying some of this sort of out loud to Teddy so that Teddy's caught up on this. I'm also going to flash into Lamdea, who will float around the edge of the house
Yep.
and start waving at Mink.
I think
Okay.
Mink is like so on edge for like someone's gonna run out of this house that he like sprints. sprints himself over to wherever Lamdea is to be like, I'm ready, I'm here.
Lamdea is
there's
going to
nothing.
like sort of be pointing towards the front of the house then. And I'm also going to have Graboa move over to monitor this same side, since this is the room where Milovich is. Milovage. So once
Do I need to move the tokens?
I can do it.
once Mink is here as well, I think Jota will go over what they've found regarding the locket, and then like, so the locket was open several months ago. The demon shows Milovaj as the target of the ritual. Fun fact, it means that Milovaj is a kind and pure soul. So we can cheer him up with that if he doesn't die. The process is likely getting very close to completing. If the locket is open, the demon can impact the world around it, but only indirectly. Whispers, perhaps mild possession, things like that. Debbie, what would I need to do to try to see if Diota knows a way to make this to break this ritual?
You would. You would think that probably the only way to save Milovaj at this point, with how advanced the ritual is to kill the demon.
And that, do I have to like open the locket and shake it out on the ground?
Good question. You think that, so the locket has to be open for the demon to come out. The demon's not an idiot, and isn't going to come out unless it has to.
Debbie's so frozen right now. Debbie, you were frozen for like 10 seconds. You said the demon won't come out unless
so annoying.
The demon won't come out unless it has to.
Yes. So you could open it and maybe nothing happens.
But can you just shake it out? Can you like bang it on the ground? I'm picturing like you've got like a bug stuck in something.
Is there like sorry, that's just a very good mental image. Like something we can do that Mink is asking Diota, sorry, I will. Is there something we could do to the locket to kind of force the demon out? Like if we heat the locket up a bunch, it's gonna be like, ow, like I don't want to be here anymore. Or if is it not gonna work like that?
Debbie.
You could try. You, Diota, don't know whether melting the lamp also melts the genie. But at that moment,
yeah. I mean,
Claudia Belasco appears at the doorway and waves and says, I know where Felix is, if that helps.
I'm going to have to talk to children, aren't I?
I mean, Teddy can talk to Felix, right? Like, I don't even know who Felix is at this point.
Yeah, I'm happy to. What's happening?
Claudia
she appeared at the door and said, right. So, yeah, Felix might have some answers, but I think the most important thing, we're gonna have to deal with this demon and then eventually find these bones, because it seems like the demon influenced Milovaj to remove these bones from the church, because demons don't like protected sacred spaces.
So
yeah, or do you think Milovaj maybe tried to take the bones to help himself? Like he recognized like there's some sort of danger happening to me. These bones are really capable of miracles. Like I'm not saying Milovaj is a bad person for doing that. I'm just saying like,
Oh,
in the survival
literally
instinct
have
of
proof
like,
he's not.
like an
yeah,
immune
it's true.
response.
Yeah. So like, he could have potentially taken it as like a to protect himself thing. I don't know. Maybe if Milovaj wakes up enough that we can talk to him, we could ask him some of those questions.
So, quick question, also, Debbie. And this is not saying that Jota would use this knowledge. The ritual takes several months to complete. You are frozen. So if you nodded or said something I did not know.
She frozen or just holding by herself? She blinked. She's not frozen.
I was frozen, and then I came back as I heard Galway said, "Oh,
Yeah.
she's frozen."
Debbie, you
heard
gotta constantly move so we can tell if you're frozen.
Okay, I heard you constantly say. I heard you say that you don't know whether you're going to use this knowledge, but, and then I got nothing
So
else.
the
if you
ritual
ask a
takes
question, I
several
don't
months
know.
to complete, and we're
Yes.
several months in.
Yes.
It requires a pure and kind spirit.
Yes.
What happens if several months into that ritual, that pure and kind spirit gets killed?
The ritual would stop.
Neat.
This is not where I thought this was going to go.
This would be why I specified
And
Jota will
then
not
we
necessarily
killed
use
Milovaj.
this knowledge, but
So there is child endangerment in this episode, but it's coming from
He's not a child.
But he's
over
an adult,
18.
right?
He's
Yeah.
adult
he's got a
endangerment.
job. And Barovia has very strict child labor laws? I don't know.
Oh yeah, totally. We're known for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, unfortunately, the very strict laws are that all children must labor.
All children should work. Ooh.
Off the top of Giota's head. So we don't know if physically affecting the locket might affect the creature. We do know if it's open, it can manifest in
Possessed.
some way.
Yeah.
You gotta get down.
Well, it seems to like if we're right about what it did to Cedric, right? Cedric opened the locket, it took advantage. Then we could bait it out of the locket by, I don't know, because making Mari seem, or I'm just like helpless, right? And she opens the locket, the demon sees easy prey, comes
Yeah, and
out
I'm
of the
so
locket
pure.
to try to I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like we don't know how it knows. Like maybe it can't have like a great sense of whether or not it's in danger from what's outside the locket, right? So if we set a trap for it, essentially, it doesn't have to be Mari. It was just an example of
can be
putting
Mari.
somebody like as a decoy who opens the locket. The demon sees an opportunity, comes out of the locket to influence the person, and then we spring out of the shadows and kill it.
Do I have a sense though that like when the locket is open, the demon can actually fully come out, like manifest physically?
You think it can possess people? And it can probably do some other kind of. It's not going to be able to manifest fully physically in its full demonic form because it's bound to the locket, but it can probably do little bits of demoning and or possess someone that's in possession of the locket.
Okay, so it can only possess. Wait, so it can possess anybody who's holding the locket, or it can possess the person it's connected to with the locket. And Diota might not know. I'm asking, but
I would say that you would not necessarily know, but you would think that it could possess anybody rather than just Milovaj, right? Because possessing Milovaj at this point is not going to be any use to them because his body's nearly all used up.
It's probably it would possess can possess, because it's bound to the locket. The physical touch of someone holding the locket is what would enable it to use the more powerful demonic effect of possession.
Or perhaps someone that it has possessed before.
Okay, so Teddy, if a demon were to possess someone and we wanted to kill the demon but not the someone being possessed, options. I'm real good at killing them both, but not as clear on the just getting the demon.
It's gotta be some kind of like detox smoothie. That would work. Teddy will try to access his knowledge about that question. I don't know if it's a history check or a.
I'm skilled in religion, so I'd be happy to assist Teddy on a religion check about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Religion.
Put our heads together.
Advantage on religion check? Let's see. 18.
So, based on everything that Diota's told you about, like, this locket and how it's connected to Milivoj and what it's trying to do to get out, you think that goal, and it doesn't want to mess that up.
You might have frozen for a minute in there, and I thought you were just having a think.
What was the last thing I said?
Do you think that?
You think that, and then like paused at the top of it so that it really felt like you were like, all right, what do you think out of this?
What do you think? The demon is very focused on trying to get out of the locket. That's what it wants. It can possess other humans in that. When the locket is open, right, and it comes out and it possesses people, and you don't know like the length or breadth of that possession and what it can do whilst it possesses. The question that you asked is, can I kill the demon without killing the person that it's hosting? And based on your roll of an AS 18, because you rolled with advantage, if you kill the demon. If you kill the thing that the demon is hosting, you will kill the demon. But you will also kill the thing that it's within. If you find a way of attacking just the demon and not the thing that it is hosting, then you can kill the demon and not the host. But there has to be a physical separation between host and demon for that to be successful. If the demon is possessing one of you at the point at which you fight it, the only way to extract the demon will be to kill the person that it's possessing, which you don't want to do. But if the demon manifests in some other way that is physically separate from a host, you could kill the demon without anything that it's hosting. Are you following?
Yeah. So basically, if it is possessing a person, actively possessing a person, the answer is no, we can't kill the demon. It must be physically manifested separately. So we've got to figure out how to physically manifest this thing if we want to kill it.
Yeah. Yes. One more thing I want to tell you. Do any of you have Dispel Evil and Good?
I'm pretty sure
Probably.
I just have like tiefling
Dispel
magic.
evil and good? You mean detect evil and good?
No, in my thing it says Dispel Evil and Good. Is there a spell called Dispel Evil and Good, or have I made that up in my notes?
I don't think there's dispel.
It's a 5th level spell.
So no, you don't have that yet.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I know
never
there
mind.
is. I'm pretty sure it's a hefty level, though.
I have protection from evil and good.
I have detect evil and good.
And detect
Okay.
evil and good, but yeah.
Okay.
Can we jumble around the letters of those two spell names and then get to something that sounds like dispelling evil and good?
I think
I still have only first level spells. Let us
Same.
level up.
it's a
The
shame.
perpetual bit.
I. Protection from evil and good might be useful, in that it might stop you from getting possessed. Is that what that spell does?
Now I have the spell Sanctuary, which would force creatures to make a wisdom saving throw in order to target someone.
I just put
Mhm.
protection from evil and good, which I do have always prepared because it's one of my class spells. In there.
Target can't be.
So, yeah, they
charmed,
can't be
frightened, or possessed by
possessed.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you found out who or what this creature has been hosted inside, you could maybe protect that thing.
If the target is already possessed, it has advantage on any new saving throw against.
Yeah. Yeah. So once again, from the doorway, Headmistress Velasco waves at you and says, "Would you like to speak to Felix? I can show you where he is."
Yeah, I think knowing whether or not Felix has been possessed by this thing is going to be important for us.
That sounds like a great idea. Follow me.
Okay.
And she'll lead you all inside. I know.
Debbie, are you meaning to act like mildly sus as Claudia, or is this just
No, I'm just naturally mildly suspicious.
okay?
I'm trying to get you to the next step. I'm trying. You can insight her. She's fine. Debbie's just a bad DM. I'm trying to get you to the next step as subtly as I can. Like, would you want to meet Felix? I can show you where Felix is. Hey, have you any interest in speaking to Felix?
Move along.
Go and talk to Felix, please.
You nits.
You're doing Scribbledy Bibblesworth, and we're not even in the tavern.
I think finding out the mechanisms by which this locket works is not Scribbledy Bibblesworth. I think we're allowed to spend time trying to figure it out. You've known how this locket works for months, Debbie. We've encountered it for 5 minutes.
Especially because the first solution that Giota got to was get it out by threatening to kill the kid it's going to exchange with, and then they were like, that I can probably sell that to Mink on the basis of greater evil.
They're like, should I make Mink kill a kid today?
But other
Wow.
people might have a
Debbie
problem.
doesn't want that.
That's not happening. Yeah, no, I don't think Mink could. It's not a problem. Right, yes, Mink is going to go with Teddy to go see Felix.
Okay. Debbie, the DM, would suggest that you all go together with MVP Graboa et al. To go and see Felix.
I was planning to go with them on that, certainly. And
Okay.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
As we come in, I see Mari down the hall
I'm in the room.
you were poking your head out, and I was like, "Hey, Mari, let's go see Felix."
Fine. I don't know why I'd be poking my head out when I have a psychic link with Teddy, but sure.
Lambdea phases through the wall that he's on the other side of looking in and goes,
Okay, so
Graboa will just literally Kool-Aid man through a window.
So Claudia Velasco will lead you up a flight of stairs to the dormitory floor, and then she will point to so at the end of this hallway you see the window is boarded up, and she says, "That's unfortunately where Cedric fell, but Felix is in the attic," and she points to like a what the fucking word, a hatch in the ceiling that you can pull down, and there's a ladder, and you can go up into the attic. And as you ascend into the attic, you can all get up there, and I'll put it on the map in a second. The attic is rather barren of furnishings and full of dust and cobwebs, like a classic horror attic. There's a few random piles of clutter, nothing of much significance. At the far end of the room, by the window, there's a small boy sitting in a chair, silhouetted by the incoming light. And he seems to be doing something with his hands. But
Something sus with his hands?
100%.
Meanwhile, the
Sus.
opening of the hatch
Definitely.
behind us is now a fog wall. There's low orchestral music kicking up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think before we confront Felix, that's where we can leave it for today.
It's just like
excellent.
a 10-year-old kid. How hard could it be?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got a demon locket and a 10-year-old kid. I see no problems in your future.
Easy.
Okay, well, let's not get overconfident, because although you're not dead this time, how many sessions has it been since our last death?
A lot.
I think we're at 15. I hadn't updated it last time, I'm pretty sure.
That is a lot.
Oh no.
A sweet session. Thank you, players, for surviving another session. Combat ahead, I would just suggest. Who knows where this is going to go? I know where this is going to go. Thanks to everybody for hanging out in the audience. If you catch this on demand, I hope you enjoy it. Our next session is next weekend. Is that right? Scheduling is a bit fun at the moment.
A bit weird at the moment. I don't have the
Yeah,
calendar
the
up.
12th is what I have.
The 12th. I have that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So exclamation point Discord, join the Discord to be up to date with what we're up to, in case anything changes like that. Otherwise, hopefully we'll see you then. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourselves, drink some water, and farewell.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.